Hello, welcome to another episode of Beer Man's Noble Beer Reviews. Today I have another beer from Cellar Brewing Company out of Sarver, Pennsylvania. This beer is one of their, I guess I would call it a flagship beer because I don't know that they have it all the time, but they do make it regularly. This is called 50-Foot Robot. You can see there's a robot on there. I don't know if it's actually 50 feet, but it says 50 on there. And it is a pale ale, 5.2 ABV. And I looked a couple places and couldn't find any information as far as what hops are in this. So, could be a good thing. Sometimes it's better to go into these things blind, so I'm going to crack it open and see what we got. I will say these guys are probably, I don't want to say the most underappreciated because the people who go there really appreciate them, but they're kind of way out of the way in the Pittsburgh area. So a lot of people haven't been there before. A lot of people outside of Pittsburgh have not heard of them for that same reason. But they do make some really good beers. And they also just, I might have said Cellar Maker before because I make that mistake a lot. It's called Cellar Works Brewing Company, by the way. Cellar Makers in San Francisco. Anyways, so it is New England style. I wasn't sure of that before I opened it, but I can see now it's very hazy. Bright golden color. Somewhat small, but a sticking around white head. Ooh, that smells really nice. Super peachy. A little bit of pineapple and dankness. This really reminds me of, I'm trying to think of what beer specifically, but this smells a lot like a Resident Culture beer. But it's very, I also have, like remnants of soap aroma on my hands. Unfortunately, I tried to get as much off as I could, but I'm just trying to make sure I'm not picking any of that up, and I don't think I am. That's why I smelled my hand to make sure that wasn't anything I'm getting in this, and that's completely separate. Yeah, it's just big peach and pineapple. So that's interesting. It's not quite as juicy as I was expecting, given the aroma. I get that pineapple. There's a little bit of pithy orange. Then it finishes with it's probably partially the same, the pithy orange character I'm getting. But it has a pretty strong bitterness in the back end. Yeah, it's interesting. It's actually very dry. This is a lot different than I was expecting, given the aroma. I do really like it, though. I will say, like I said, the back end is very dry. It's pretty bitter. And that was I would say the first two sips that kind of warmed me a little bit. But now I'm getting accustomed to that bitterness, and that's one thing I like about good beers. Sometimes they might have like a tiny rough edge around them, but once you palate it, or it's not even necessarily a rough edge, it might just be something that's a little bold or aggressive. Once your palate gets used to that and you can dig underneath and get everything else, it really shows what a good beer can be. And this is definitely a case of that. Very dry, pithy, bitter, but also nice pineapple peach. A little bit of a green character. In case you were wondering too, you can see this is a big can. I think this is like 20 ounces. Let's see if it says. I don't know. It says 1 pint, so they just put the regular label on there. So I guess I don't know if, excuse me, if you follow any other breweries' Instagrams. A lot of them have been talking about the fact that there's a can shortage, or I don't even know. It might even be an aluminum shortage in general. But apparently these guys ran into that, so they couldn't get their normal 16-ounce cans, which so many breweries use now. So they got these big tall boy ones, which they're slightly more expensive, but you're getting more beer, so it's probably the same per ounce. I don't really care. I don't know that they don't necessarily love these cans. I don't think it sounded like from the way they posted it, but they needed to do something to get their beer packaged and out there. So I definitely understand it. So I'm trying to think of. I think this was $17 for a 4-pack. And that's, again, it's a pale ale, but you have to remember they're 20-ounce cans. So you're essentially getting 5-pounders as opposed to 4 for $17. So that's a pretty good price. So given that, I would say on my scale of buy, drink, dump, I'm going to give this a drink. I think it's a pretty good version of, a New England style pale ale. I will say the body is pretty light, but that's not a bad thing. It's appropriate for only being 5.2%. But it is very bold in flavor and in bitterness for the low ABV. So if you want something that's like pretty abrasive, but at the same time it's not going to get you drunk right away, this would be a really good beer to drink. So yeah, I'm going to give this a drink. I'm sorry, not a drink, buy. But I think that's all I got in this one. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I look forward to doing the next one. Thanks.